Welcome to Techietalkee. Hello friends, in this video I'll be explaining you on how to print a pattern of values in triangular shape using a Python program. This is my Python program. I'm getting the input from the user on the number of lines to be generated to print this pattern. So first I'm using a for loop which is going to loop for the required number of times based on the value entered by the user. Inside this for loop, I have three nested loops. Now what is the purpose of each of these nested loops? This is how my output should be. So I'll need one loop for the space to be printed so that I can get this triangular shape, the space in front of the series of values and the space between the values, and the second loop for printing the numbers in descending order, and the third loop for printing the numbers in ascending order. Now let me explain you in detail on how this code works. First, I'll get the input from the user on the number of rows to be printed, which I'll be storing it in the val variable. Let my val variable be 3, which means I'm going to print 3 rows for I in range of 1, val plus 1. So the value of I is going to be from 1 till 3. So during the first execution, the value of I is going to be 1. For SP in range of 1, 2 into val minus 1. So why have I given 2 into val here? Because I'm going to print the first 3 lines. I need to first understand the number of characters that need to be printed. Along with it, I'm going to introduce the space in between. So for that, I'm going to get 2 into val. So the value of this val variable is 3. So 2 into 3, which is 6, and 6 minus I. The value of I is 1. So it is going to be 5. So from 1 till 5, it is going to print a blank space. Now the value of this particular SP is going to be 1. Print a blank space. So it is going to first print a blank space, followed by another blank space. So usually any print statement will have the value of the end argument to be /n, meaning each and every print will be printing the values in a new line. But if we want the values to be printed on the same line, we can pass values to this end argument. So I've given end equal to again another space. So this print got executed. Now the value of SP is going to be 2. Print. So now I'm going to print 2 more blank spaces. Now the value of SP will be 3. So 3 is less than 2 into val. So the value of val is 3. 3 into 2 is 6. And 6 minus I. 6 minus 1 is 5. Since 3 is less than 5, the nested for loop is going to continue and it is going to print 2 more blank spaces. Next, the value of SP is now incremented by 1. So it becomes 4. And it is going to print 2 more blank spaces. Next, the value of SP will be incremented to 5. So 5, 5. The control will come out of this for loop and then it will go to the next nested for loop for j in range of 1, 0, minus 1. So the value of j is now 1. Print j. So the value of 1 will get printed, followed by a blank space. So a blank space is now going to be printed here. Next, the value of j decrements by 1 because we have given minus 1 here. So it becomes 0, 0. The control comes out of this for loop and then it goes to the next nested for loop where it will check for k in range of 2, I plus 1. I plus 1 is again 2. So 2, 2. The control comes out of this for loop and then it prints a new line. So Python is going to print the next set of results in the next line. Now the value of I is going to be 2. for SP in range of 1 comma 2 into val is 6. 6 minus 2 is 4. So it is going to loop from 1 to 4. Initially the value of SP is going to be 1. So it is going to print two new spaces, 1 and 2. Next, the value of SP is going to be incremented by 1. So SP now becomes 2. 2 comma 4. So it is going to print two more spaces. Then the value of SP will be incremented by 1. So SP is now going to be 3. And it is going to print two more blank spaces. Next, when the value of SP becomes 4, it will be 4 comma 4. So the control will exit from this for loop and then it will go to the next for loop. For j in range of 2 comma 0 comma minus 1. So now the value of j is going to be 2 and we are going to print the value of j, which is 2, followed by a blank space. The loop continues where the value of j decrements by 1. So it now becomes 1 and we are going to print the value of j followed by a space. So we are going to print 1 followed by a space. Next, the value of j becomes 0. So the control comes out of this nested for loop and then it goes to the next nested for loop for k in range of 2 comma I plus 1. The value of I is 2. So I plus 1 is going to be 3. So it is from 2 to 3 increment by 1. And here we are printing the value of k. So 2 gets printed here followed by a space. Next, the value of k increments by 1. So it becomes 3 comma 3. The control exits from this nested for loop and then it prints a new line. So the print will now happen in the next line. Now the value of I will be 3 for SP in range of 1 comma 6 minus 3. So it is going to be 1 comma 3. So now when the SP value is 1, we are going to print two blank spaces. Next, the value of SP is going to be incremented by 1. So it becomes 2 and we are going to print two more blank spaces. Next, when the value of SP becomes 3, so it is going to be 3 comma 3. So the control comes out of this for loop and then it goes to the next for loop. For j in range of 3 comma 0 comma minus 1. So first I'm going to print the value of j, which is 3. So the value of j is 3. So I'm going to print 3 followed by a space. Next, the value of j is going to be decremented by 1. So it becomes 2. So I'm going to print 2 followed by a space. Next, the value of j is going to be 1. So I'm going to print 1 followed by a space. Next, if I increment this by minus 1, next the value of j will be 0. So the control comes out of this nested for loop and it goes to the next for loop where it is for k in range of 2 comma I plus 1. The value of I currently is 3. So 3 plus 1 is 4. So from 2 to 4 and it gets incremented by 1. So first k will be printed followed by a blank space. The value of k currently is 2. So 2 gets printed followed by a blank space. Next, the value of k increments by 1 and it becomes 3 now. The end value of this range is 4. So this for loop gets executed and so 3 will be printed here on the screen followed by a blank space. Next, the value of k will be 4, so it will be 4 comma 4. The control comes out of this for loop and then it prints a new line. And then the value of I will now become 4. So 4 comma 4. So the control comes out of this for loop and this is the result that we'll get in Python after executing this code. Let's try to execute this in PyCharm and see what result we are getting there. Enter the number of rows to be printed. I'll give 3. So I have this pattern generated for 3 rows. Say for example, I want it for 9 rows. I'll have it printed here like this on the screen. So what we can see here is that it is this j and k variable that is printing the numbers on the screen in the shape of a triangle. Now if I want to print a special character, say for example, I want to print a star. So instead of j or k, I can give a star there. Let me execute this for 7 rows. 7 rows of stars in the triangular format gets printed on the screen. I can do it for any special character. I can do it for at the rate also. Let's see how that works. Here we have the pattern to be printed on the screen. Hey guys, hope you now understood how to print a series of numbers or special characters in the triangular format using a Python program. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any queries, you can reach out to me at techietalkee@gmail.com. Happy learning and have a great day.